So one thing I've been thinking about this week and wanted to share with you all was about, OCD being called the doubting disease and how it can also be called a fear-based disease and how there are, so many fears and how to start to interact with them differently is a lot of the whole point of this. And so, it makes me think of the definition of trauma, which is powerlessness in a life or death situation. And, thinking about how life or death situations and it used to be running from a tiger kind of thing, whereas now life or death situations can be about being able to afford bills, and all the different kinds of different fears that come with modern society today. And so it got me thinking also about loneliness and how I thought it was really interesting that loneliness is a biological signal like hunger or thirst, where, your body signals to you that you're thirsty when you need water. But for loneliness, your body signals loneliness to you when you need connection. And it made me remember that we're a social species and we need each other for survival. And that's a huge piece of it's just deeply ingrained in us. And so, kind of putting all this together, reminding us that the fear of being abandoned or rejected or excommunicated from the group in some way, and how that is a trauma and how that goes to the very core of us, because to be abandoned or rejected by the group meant death, before and at various times throughout history. And so it's just really thinking about that we are like that fear of rejection runs so deep. And for OCD and for other processing disorders, there's this thing called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which means that you feel rejection extra, deeply in that way. And it made me think about how it's all connected to this, and that because it's that fear of rejection could mean like, oh my gosh, if I'm rejected, then like, I could die, and how quickly, it can get there. But that the reason is because of how deeply it runs, and how, big that is in our modern day society. And one of the types of OCD is even called sensorimotor OCD, which is obsessing about your body sensations. And I find that it's one that can manifest so many different ways. And so people can have a hard time figuring out, if they have that, because it can look like a bunch of different things. But that it was just really interesting to me. So thinking about loneliness and then maybe obsessing about that loneliness and thinking it means something's wrong with me, instead of, um, it being just a signal that I need connection, and not that I'm bad or wrong, but just that I need connection. And it doesn't have to mean all the connection, like go be the life of the party. It just, or it could, like we're trying not to judge whatever that means for you personally, that you decide what kind of connection you want and you go out there and get it. If it's a deep connection with a friend, or if it is just needing to go connect with a group of people, at a concert or some kind of thing and feel belonging in that kind of way. And I just think right now is an important time to be aware of those kind of things, to not blame ourselves for our feelings of loneliness, for not blame ourselves for our fears, and to not try to, go through all of that kind of thing, but just to reach out for connection, and in whatever way we need to, and encourage ourselves to do that. And so I hope you find this helpful, and I will be back soon. Talk to you later.